So I've had this car for a little over 3 months. I wanted to give you a little video on how I've liked owning it, my whole ownership experience, and just a little insight on, is it a good daily driver? Going from a Honda Civic base model, economy, good on gas, to the 86, it is a difference, of course, because Civic is your reliable, high gas mileage car, to essentially a whole different car, sports car. You have to fill up on premium gas. I would say, if we're comparing the two, the 86 does get a good range. When I fill up, I get about 300 miles on a full tank. Right now, my miles per gallon is 26 city highway. Going from an automatic Civic hatch to GR86, the manual transmission, it is completely different. But if we're comparing it based on daily driving, obviously the automatic car would be easier, more suitable for the average person who doesn't drive manual or doesn't necessarily like to drive manual every day. I chose to learn manual, and daily driving this manual car, it is honestly a really good feeling, and I love it, and I love driving every day. And I actually learned manual in a Civic EK hatch. I went from that to the 86, and the clutch is so raw on that car. It is from the 90s. Going from that to an assisted newer car, it is easier, and it was pretty simple to learn because of how gritty and raw learning on an old car, which I would recommend. If you have the choice to learn on an older car, do it, because if you can get that down, you can get any manual transmission down. A lot of people say, oh, it's slow, but it is a super light car, and speed isn't necessarily everything. Of course, if you want to go speed, you can go with the G80 M3, you can go with a Supra that obviously has a BMW engine, but if you want pure handling and pure driver's car, I would highly recommend a GR86 or a Subaru BRZ. So about 3 months and some change, I got this car. It has been super nice. This is my dream car, and that feeling is just never gonna go away of me owning it and me driving it like it was the first day of me having it. Probably a week or two after getting the car from the dealership, I took it to Georgia for a road trip. Not a lot of people do. Taking a brand new car, a couple of 100 miles up to Georgia through the mountains. But this is what this car was made for: the mountain driving, the handling, and I really enjoyed that experience. I also want to give a big shout out to my girlfriend. She's been really supportive with the whole process with the 86. She taught me manual too. One of the first mods I did to this car was tint. I tinted the side mirrors and the rear windshield, I believe about 15%. The front has no tint at all. I might go in and put some tint on it, but for now, it's completely fine. I have no issues with it at all. I love how dark the sides are, and that's pretty much all I need right now, but dark enough to where on the outside you can't really see in unless you're super close. I also hope you can hear me right now because there's an airplane. And then about 2 months ago, I made a trip all the way up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the Slammed Enough event. I had no doubts of it making it all the way up there, but people talk about seat time. How comfortable is it to sit in the car? For me, I am 6'4", taller than average person, and the drive was pretty comfortable. It comes with a factory bucket-esque style seat. I did make stops about in 3-hour increments to fill up for gas. So that time, I was stepping out, I was stretching, but overall the seats feel really nice, and I was really happy with how it felt for long drives. Now, getting to be in the mountains with all these different cars was honestly a surreal feeling. Getting to see all these different 86s and the different styles that people do to their cars, nice to see, very inspiring. It was just nice to see the community all together, and overall great experience driving in the mountains, getting to drive manual in the mountains. with all these different cars was super nice. Now, of course, with driving far comes with your typical maintenance, and I got to do my first oil change on the car. Love the oil filter placement on the engine. Makes it super convenient to do oil changes, to do maintenance. So as of recently, if you've seen, I got a check engine light, which was super scary because this car is 2 years old and there should be no problems at all with the car. It was because when I filled up the gas tank, I didn't screw in the gas cap all the way, which messes with the pressure system in the fuel lines, so that caused the check engine light to come on. I didn't want to think it was the ATV. That was like the last thing on my mind, which I need to get done too, is the ATV. I read it on my OBD reader. I did a whole video on it, if you didn't see on my Instagram. Just disconnected the battery terminals, reconnected them, and it was all good. And no issues since. But that was probably the first scare that I had in this car. But with all that being said, for the past 3 months, this has been the best car I've ever driven. The amount of possibilities that are to come, the amount of aftermarket support on this car, the amount of friends I've made. Shout out to Jam in California, and I'm very fortunate that I've made these connections because of the car. I feel very blessed to be able to own one of these things. So with all that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.